Good morning, everyone. If you're new here, my name's Alicia. I'm the artist behind Crystal Sky Art. If you've been here before, welcome back. Thank you for returning for another video. In this one, I'm going to be showing swatching of the Arteza Twi markers, Caron brush markers, and the Koi brush markers, all of them on watercolor paper, and seeing how each one reacts with water specifically. But the main part of this video is we're going into the subreddit called MLM Recovery. So it will be a storytime episode. When I was looking through there, it was a lot of Amway ones. There wasn't much variety. I was kind of hoping for more variety, but there really wasn't in there that I could find last night. So we're going with what I found that are some nice story times. I'll sit back, relax, and enjoy some MLM Recovery story time. Our first story today is called My Experience with Amway. I'll post links to each of these stories in the description below. Some of them do ask for advice, so if you have any advice for them, any encouraging comments, feel free to go over to their post and show them some love and just in general help them out if you can. So I've been approached by Amway twice. I figure I put my experience out here for others. Hopefully it helps. I've never sold Amway products, was almost initiated but couldn't pull the trigger. I'm going to change some names for obvious reasons. Matt will be the Amway rep that approached me at my management position. Dave will be the high-ranking diamond, and Giselle will be my coworker's mentor. My first time I was approached, I was a sales manager at my old job and recently through a coworker at my new job. The first time was actually delivered quite well, made me feel unique and special since he didn't approach any of my staff, hidden under the guise of mentorship and helping people, which I'm all about. Now, up to this point, my job was pretty good. I was well read, had many skills in marketing, investments, content creation, etc. But who doesn't like an extra side hustle that could help people as well? So I decided to meet with the guy, Matt, and got an interview for a sit down with his mentor. Now, I'm a time-sensitive kind of guy. I have a lot on my plate, and time is money. I met with him first, gave him my story, life experiences, skills, why I'm interested, blah blah blah. However, he still wouldn't tell me what this opportunity was. Standard Amway needs to make sure they can trust your mindset to be open-minded because it's easy to judge a book by the cover without hearing the context or both sides of the argument. I made it clear that trust goes both ways. I'm more than open-minded, and since I met him more than halfway, and that if he didn't tell me by the next meeting, I'd have to pass. He agreed, gave me some homework in summarizing The Business of the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki, and said he would disclose all my next meeting. Funny thing, my boss is actually good friends with Kiyosaki, and I'm familiar with his work, so I figured this could be a good opportunity. Like-minded people think alike. So we meet again. Same spot, same time. I arrive early as always. Noticed homeboy Matt is meeting with another person before me. Thought it was strange since he made it seem like this was a very special opportunity and he doesn't approach just anyone. Cut to the chase, we get down to business when he's done with the other guy who happens to have another copy of the book I was asked to summarize. He lays out the plan, the business name, the general gist of operations, and asks me if I'd like to meet his mentor. I agree and we meet with his mentor. His mentor Dave seems like a cool guy, happens to be an extremely high diamond member, highest in my area ever apparently. We talk, he goes into detail about the plan, how this mentorship is helpful for everyone, which is the big reason I'm there. Some of the key takeaways were about coaching people through past experiences since you'd build new relationships that weren't available to you in your current network state, and to make money while doing it through selling goods and subscriptions that would otherwise be spent at other businesses and simply putting it into your business. I'd have to attend mandatory meetings, interviews, communicate with upline and downline, and recruit people by being duplicable, which was a little less than what I was currently doing at my job at that time. I felt good about the whole thing. We talk story, talk about future meetup, and Dave tells me to talk to Matt about what to do next. I schedule and start game planning my approach to really break into this business and what I would like to see before moving forward. I decided I wanted to see the tier percentage of where everyone is allocated, diamonds all the way down to fresh recruits. Who decides what material is approved, books, videos, teachings. I wanted annual tax statements, and I wanted to know if promotions for tiers were based on output, peer-reviewed, or a mixture of the two. I wanted to know about the promotion because I'm aiming for the top, and I don't like to be held down by preconceived judgment. I'm not exactly religious, white picket fence, family man that all the Amway people I meet seem to be, and don't want to be judged if I don't conform. Anyways, I show up to my last meeting with Matt to discuss my plan, go over rules, and possibly finish recruitment. Now here's where I got ousted by Matt. I was told about communicate and some of these subscription-based items that were not required but heavily recommended for new recruits. I thought the startup was too heavy for certain people, and if Amway was such a blessing, why shouldn't I assume most of the labor and heavy lifting for my team? I wanted to outsource some of the subscription with the free-to-use options, use Messenger or WhatsApp for communication, sell on social media within the rules, since I'm versed in copyright laws and the do's and don'ts of social media marketing, just to make the startup easier for my team. I was going to go to the meetings, read the books, generate the plans with my mentors, and relay the message to my team so they wouldn't need to sacrifice time and money in such a crucial conversion time to start up, since most people have day jobs, kids, other obligations. I'd say it would be more attractive with lower overhead cost, especially if it's about mentoring people. I had this plan to make it easy and attractive, since the overall reputation of Amway is negative. Why not put a positive spin on it? To put time and opportunity into my team's pocket by doing most of the work, since it's duplicable, right? And taking away most of the startup risk. I was met with a host of negative comments saying we can't coach something we've never done. Why reinvent the wheel if it's not broken? The whole idea is to be easy and duplicable. Why go against this vetted process? I told them I wouldn't be reinventing the wheel necessarily, simply modernizing it, that's all. Going from a stone wheel to a rubber one, to keep the analogy short. Best of all, Matt kept going on about being duplicable and he wouldn't be able to help coach me or advise me if I get into trouble. He said I would essentially be traveling down a road no one really travels, since the plan they have works and mine is unproven at best. I was told that higher tier promotions were in fact board approved by Amway and other higher members, which was a no-no for me. I wasn't provided an annual tax statement to prove the income was genuine or to see what kind of cost was needed at the higher tiers. I restated my views on this but still expressed interest because I felt like I could be a great benefit in this business and could really help people if they just let me try my plan. Matt then cut the interview short, simply said the offer isn't available anymore and told me they didn't need people like me. Overall, hated the dude after that. For a time, I let it go. But he's entitled to his opinion. I was more upset that they couldn't see my view to really create an equal opportunity for people who I had tried to recruit instead of an uphill battle. After that, I left it alone, closed the book for now, until my coworker approached me, not so versed in his pickup script, which was kinda clunky. We were doing a hard job and we grumbled, moaned, bitched, etc. Wished for better jobs and wished that no one ever needed to work or be in this rat race. He then asked if I would be interested in this new opportunity, in which I replied, let me guess, you're gonna ask me to read this book by Robert Kiyosaki, right? He looked shocked, laughed, and asked how I knew. Anyways, I go through the process again. His upline's more open-minded, more modern, more actually open to my ideas. I told them about my past experience and they were sympathetic and told me it's all about who you're under, since it's all based on coaching and mentoring from each network's and past experience. Long story short, I wasn't able to get the tax statements and the approval to outsource some of the material. I didn't pull the trigger because after doing some digging, I found out that you get a cut of these subscription-based products as you progress the ranks, and that the materials, video seminars, motivational recordings you make as a higher tiered participant earned you new bonuses or income. Makes sense though. Didn't have a way to confirm. I asked Giselle about this and she didn't have any knowledge about this practice. She just made platinum. I asked my coworker if he knew anything about it and he didn't, since he had just started. All good though. I thanked them for their time and wished them both the best. Also, I went through the process again. I saw Matt. Apparently he made double ruby, was some hotshot now, and was being groomed to move up the tiers by Dave. He said hi to me, I returned the favor. Hindsight is 2020. I really do wish them all the best, even Matt. I just hope they didn't lose sight of who they are, as the material that's being passed around is extremely manipulative. I recommended a few books and was turned down. Too radical, I guess. TLDR, I was approached by Amway, wanted to modernize the business plan to help people, and got cut from the recruitment process rather rudely. Got approached again, had some good talks and laughs, agreed to disagree, wish them the best. That guy actually sounded like he had some pretty good ideas, something that could probably even help them, but I'm glad that he decided not to go with this because of the fact that, well, they are allegedly a pyramid scheme. It's not worth it. He already put in so much work and effort into what he had thought of, plans he had made, and of course, you know, it doesn't fit their current MLM plan, so they're like, no, you can't do this because we want to keep doing it this way, and manipulating people, not finding ways to, you know, actually make it less manipulative and work better. This next one is titled, Please Help, I'm in a Bad Place. It was posted 2 months ago, so I'm hoping that they got the help that they needed and everything is going a lot better for them. It's definitely shorter than the last story, so let's get on into it. So I'm just kind of hoping for encouragement. I don't really know what I'm hoping for, but I'm at the begging game of waking up to the truth, I think. I'm currently in an MLM with a company called TS Life. My best friend and her sister are my uplines, who both make ridiculous money, and I love her very much. I am doing well myself, but the amount of sleepless nights, stress, crying that has had to go into it is a lot. Something feels wrong and I don't know why. The company is very recruitment based. There is still regular trainings for selling, growing customer base, and the company seems to put a lot of time and effort into product knowledge training. They're currently clinically testing the products, etc., etc. Oh, and the sales profit is also pretty high compared to what's currently in the UK markets. So you can make nice pocket money from sales alone, and we do have people who do that successfully, but they usually always already have a big network when they enter. Also, you can't make the big bucks that way. So on the surface, it seems like a good one, if there is even such a thing. But here are the things that feel wrong to me. The recruitment focus is so heavy. It creates this culture of pressure that if you aren't recruiting, you aren't working hard enough. Toxic positivity to where the girl I sponsor actually said sometimes she feels nervous about posting pictures of her enjoying time with her friends. This broke my heart. I've also personally had times where I have severely beat myself up over my depression because mindset is everything. If you are negative, good things won't come to you. There is no open beachiness, but you can absolutely feel that the favorites are somehow getting inside special treatment because I'm starting to fall into that inner circle. Some of the girls in there have become what I would consider such good friends that the thought of leaving it behind makes me feel so sad. The thing is, I stupidly thought this could be done the right way and with integrity. I have personally built a good, strong customer base, but it was serious hard work and not without near breakdowns. I thought if I could make it clear to anyone I sponsor that they won't make money without investment and work hard, that I was letting them make an informed choice. I thought that if I was picky and only recruited those who already had the tools to succeed, if I myself never pushed anyone to spend money they didn't have, then that would be okay. But the toxicity and culture of the industry seems that this can never ever be so, because so many are not interested in actually trying to make someone's life better. They see downlines only as money, not people. So I'm stuck at a crossroads. I've honestly never felt this depressed and low. I wanted to change mine and my mom's life for the better so that she could retire. I feel like a failure. I feel like I will never be capable of being successful at anything else, as I don't have any other skills or qualifications. The idea of leaving absolutely terrifies me. Can I please hear some of your stories stories and why or how you left. Side note, I'm dyslexic, so I'm sorry if this is hard to read. No, you're good, OP. It was actually easier to read than some of the others I've come across. And they design these to be exactly the way that you described. It's not worth all the time and effort you put into it with how little you get in return. And for your own mental health, please leave the company. Find something that you can do that will improve your mental health and will actually improve your life and make you feel better about yourself. Nothing is worth feeling so depressed and so low and feeling like you're a failure. I personally understand those feelings quite well. That is something I deal with all the time, and I can tell you right now that if that's how you're feeling with what you're doing, it's not worth it. You need to find something else that will be better for you. So I had originally recorded 5 of the story times for this, and it was about an hour long. However, due to my computer's hardware, it's nearly impossible for me to edit that. So I cut it down to 2 because that seems to be where it was manageable. For future videos like this, I already have a plan in place so that I can do the longer ones a bit easier. I'm just going to record and edit like blocks of the video, different sections. And then once I have the finished of each section, I'm going to put it all together into one video, and then I can just add the art one to that. That way it won't overload my computer so much as having all the different spliced files, cutting out any errors and dead air. Hopefully you like this video. It's definitely not as long as I was hoping for it to be, but oh well, stuff happens, right? The next video that I'm going to be working on right away is one from Cringetopia. I actually put up a poll on my Twitter and posted a link in Discord to it because I was kind of debating between choosing Beggars and Cringetopia. I found some pretty decent content for both, and 100% of the votes went to Cringetopia. Well, 100% of the whole 2 votes. So if you ever want to go and participate in the voting, be sure to check any links below for my social media. I'll always put the polls up on Twitter just because it's easier to post polls there. And that way you can have an extra say in any future videos. So I will see you all in the next one. Bye!